Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So it's a quick question for you guys. How many of you here are other game developers looking into gamification services? And how many of you are more of just want to know more about it? So from corporate background side. Okay. Okay, let's see. Trying to keep it short. There'll be more room for Q&A because I think it's going to be more of a Q&A thing. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, so I'll just take you guys on this mind map journey thing. Let's see. We'll start with number one. Okay, it's a bit about myself. I'm really not from. I'm only been here for about 2 years. I'm in the industry, and before this, I was in film, TV, and more like advertising and stuff. But now I am in NightMorning. And NightMorning started out as a game company. They wanted to do our own IPs, but we decided to open up for corporate clients, and that arm turned out to be a lot more profitable than the other one. So we're focusing quite a bit on that now. It's going really well. Oops. So gamification, what is it? I mean, you can have the proper definition of it. That's, all that up there. But simply put, it's just something that makes boring or tedious stuff more fun. Like really, in the end of it, it's just that. So, for example, when people have like campaigns or marketing stuff, of course, companies, they want to collect data, personal data, contact numbers, emails, stuff like that, so they can email much later. So you can't just like go there and ask them, give us all this stuff, because they'll be asking why and what do we get in return. So all these kind of details, like us on Twitter or follow on Twitter and like us on our Facebook page and stuff like that. Those are all things that you want them to do. And hang on a sec. Oh, also, for those of you who saw the topic title from outside, there was actually a change, but it wasn't updated on the board. I mean, the original topic was about bridging something millennials and stuff, but I changed to this. Bringing fun to brands. There you go. Okay. Yep. Okay, so the term gamification is still very loosely used and gets thrown around a lot, and people don't really have a same definition of it. And I think the reason for that is because there's really no clear definition of it. Some people call gamification as just a service where you get points, tokens, and stuff like that, but some, like us, focus more on the game side of gamification. Like we build actual games. So let's see. So you have the traditional system, something like bonus link or, yeah, okay, I can say that. Like you spend money, you buy stuff, and you get points, but there's no real engagement there. You're just doing things that you normally do anyway. Like you want to fill up petrol without bonus link or without all this reward system, you would still be purchasing petrol. And then when it comes to the redeeming those points, it's actually quite a complicated and not a very fun process. So actually gamification could actually come in that part, make that part more fun. So for us, we try to focus on getting some sort of points or token system that's fun to get, to collect, and you can win stuff. So this is pretty much what the scale is. I mean, for the entire gamification, every company will decide on which part of the spectrum they're on. And I would say ours is a bit more on the right side here. You can see it. And you have some that are functional, they're functional, they're good, and they work, but there's no game involved. Right, so I can talk about development. First things first, because when you're dealing with corporate clients, you have to understand the nature of their business. So, well, number one, basically, generally security is a very important issue. And for one of our clients, when it comes to banks or telcos or even anything, where you really can't mess up on security because it's now their brand image that's at stake. So the first thing we do is we start with a theme. Like, is it going to be a timely? Is it because of a popular event like the last general elections? Or if it's does it follow a narrative? As in, this was for a property developer where they want to do a CSR campaign where they build homes for orang asli. And what we do is we build a platform for users to engage and be a part of it. I mean, I can show you the game later after this. So essentially, it's you play the game, you collect planks, wooden planks, collectively as a whole, and when the collection reaches a certain amount, the company will promise to build one house. So the more you play, the more houses they have to build. It's essentially a raid boss. You guys are gamers? Everybody know what a raid boss is? Okay, cool. It's a raid boss in a very non-gaming system. And then we have like Chinese New Year stuff. Yeah, let's see what else. Also, at every step of the plays, at the level of design, you must relook at security. It's very important. Like, I can't stress enough. Okay, so now when it comes to the market, they need to be clear about what they're looking for their users. So we have clients that do want to create something fun, something epic, like Clash of Clans or something with like a full 3D and special effects. And then we ask them, what's the age group that they want to go for? And most of the time, the age group is their current client base, which is anybody from the age of, let's say, 18 or younger to 60 plus. And because of that, we have to tell them that, you know, you're not going to do like a PvP or a very intense action game. If it's a puzzle, it can't be too hard. It has to be something that people can pretty much pick up at a glance. So it's like an area where you have to start reminding them that you're not trying to make the next big hit. You're trying to make something that fits your client. And your clients or your customer base are usually people who do not play games. So just getting them to download and give it a try is already going to be a challenge. But having them sit there, learn, and be good at it, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, and that's the thing. Your clients, gamers, are not. So we do, because of this, we do a lot of hiding games behind common systems, like you say, spin the wheel kind of concept. One look, you know what it is. But the entire game can't be about spinning the wheel. It can be something that happens at the end of it. Yeah, actually, I just spoke about this. Okay. What else can I talk about this? Also, this is where you can decide on the tech as well. So for example, if you want a game that looks good, do you want it to be 3D? Do you want it to be something that the media will pick up on, like VR? And we have requests for, they want something really cool, VR, and then ask them how many people would actually be able to play it. How many of them would actually have VR? If your target audience between 16 or 18 to 60, then and out of all those people, maybe the 18 to 20 would have something like a Google Cardboard, and that's not even all of them, maybe like a 20% of that group. So next they would ask about really fancy graphics, like 3D and stuff. And I would ask them, how many phones do you want to cover? Because it would only work really well on the latest phones. And again, when you look at the age group, a lot of people would not be having these high-tech, high-end phones. So I normally recommend 2D, simple. And if they do manage to run a 3D on an old phone, it would be laggy. And that's how people remember your brand. As in, you make laggy and irritating games. Because in the end, that's pretty much it. It's just what experience are you crafting for them, And that's the experience they will associate to your brand. So again, security, because it's no joke. Okay, so now gameplay. The gameplay, you have to be really clear about what works and what doesn't work. So has anyone seen this chart? The chart of flow, when you're in the state of flow. So for example, if you make a game that's too tedious or too easy, like basically you tap a button and after a random number of amount, you get a reward. It's that what's that? I think what's that Skinner's rat kind of concept. And that will lead to something like this. And this is not entirely a game on its own. It's completely by chance. There's no thinking involved, and it's just very luck based. And that's the kind of experience the player is going to feel. But if you go the other way, something challenging, like Flappy Bird. We've also had requests of something like Flappy Bird because it was popular. But again, we have to kind of bring up that it's popular for a certain group of people. And most of what you feel from this game is frustration. So that's not where you want to put your brand at. Ta-da! That's the other one. So what you need to do is kind of come up with something in between that. That's the area that people can accept. And it's something that you can start out easy, super easy. Like I said, people go in at one glance and they get it. They get how to play, they get how to do it. And if they play well, it will adjust. So people who want more challenge because they deserve it will get it. And people who can't handle that extra challenge will not get it. Okay, where were we? Okay, gameplay. Okay, so after that, another round of security discussions. So now the reward. The reward is, of course, obviously you have to stay relevant, right? So you can like go with something that's in their face that, oh shit, I want that. And that should be the first thing that pops up in the game when you first launch the game or even your campaign. The first thing is, what can I get out of it from a player's point of view? So you'd be like, win a trip or vouchers and tickets or cash. And also you can win phones, but at the same time, you know, like, for example, if you see a promotion right now or a campaign right now that says you can win this phone, how would you feel about it? Would you feel like, yes, I want that phone, or is it too old? Because right now, phones that people want have a notch, have multiple cameras, and all that. So even, I mean, this is just something that they can get at a glance. This could be the first image they see about the campaign. And because we're asking them to kind of take on a task, take on a journey to do something, you can lose them real quick just by having the wrong kind of rewards. Okay, wait. I'm a bit lost. That's the reward system. Okay, so now you have kind of engaged them. Now they have played a thing or two, and they are involved. That's when you kind of have the one foot through the door to like from what you want them to do. And then at that point, once you start asking, but like, can you do some share? Can you give us your details, like us Facebook and stuff like that? They are more open to it. So if you launch a game and the first thing you need to do is register, they might just uninstall it. It's a very delicate situation where you want things, but you need to know when to ask them. And where we put it at, well, we normally just put it right after giving the reward. After reward, they feel good. That's when you put your brand logo. That's where you put the campaign. That's where you tell them more about stuff. That's when you ask them to do things. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I skipped ahead there. Yeah. Um, so, how many of you have actually engaged a gamification company before? No. So, interested? Looking forward to engaging a gamification company? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, just still trying to understand more about it, is it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Um, yeah. And that's it. So at the end of the experience, that's the impression they will have of your brand. So that's why security is an issue. You can't have a game that is that can be hacked. It must be fair. It must be balanced for everyone. So if you have, let's say, every single game you play, every single run, and your score hits like 200 to 300, and you play your best, and maybe you hit 5,000, and the top person on the leaderboard that you see is like 100,000 or something, then you know something got hacked. And when that happens, that is the impression they'll have on your brands. Yeah. Okay. So next thing I can show you guys if it works, how this works, how this translates to in an actual game. Give me a sec. Okay, so before I continue, I think I want to say that gamification for your own internal company use is very different from what you release to the public. Because internally, when companies make games for their HR or, well, it's usually HR, you can force them to use it. So let's see. Okay. So what we did for Hong Leong was a rhythm game, and I think one of my proudest moment is to convince a bank to make a rhythm game because it was difficult. Is there audio? I'm not sure there's audio. So thematic. Oh no, I don't have the thing. So in a game like this, you see how there's a level 1 at the top? Because if you are horrible at it, that's where you'll stay. But if you play better, it will adapt and increase the level, meaning speed and difficulty goes up. You can collect more tokens, you can collect more points, but only if you're playing it well. So I'll just let the person die. And another thing that we like to do is make sure that, okay, oh yeah, right. So this is the actual randomizing. And this is where people can, okay. This is where people can feel lucky. And feeling lucky and receiving things that they do not expect will kind of keep them wanting to go at it for another round. Then this comes up. Yeah. Then we ask for name, mobile number, because when we tested it, at first they wanted us to put it when you first launch a game. And when we tested that, a lot of people just didn't want to. They were looking for the cancel button. They were looking for the guess button. They were looking for the like a skip never button. But once we put it right after the reward, they're much more open to it. And let's see. So this would be like a shop because you're playing the game, you get coins, you get a currency, and you can spend it somewhere. The idea is that when the campaign is over, for those who actually like the game, they can still play it. So without the campaign, it is still a complete functional game. And that's one of the things that we try to maintain. What happened after that was a property developer approached us, and they actually liked what we did. So now we have this version. But for this one, it's very similar. except you don't win rewards in the game. This one expanded more to in their marketing. And let me just try and collect that token. Okay. Okay, in this version, you run the randomizer, the gacha. I think we can use that word here. And you get planks. Now, what they wanted was to drive traffic to their website or their Facebook page. So if we look at all the leaderboards and the progress, it will take you to the website. And that's how we drive traffic there. And this was an unexpected success because if you look at this, yeah, that's how much wooden planks has been collected so far since the 6th of October. When we first discussed it, they were saying like, okay, tell you what, every 3,000 planks collected, we'll build a house. So I told them like, let's just give it a week and see how people are playing. Because if it reaches millions, then how many houses is that? So we're still actually in the process of trying to work this one out, as in how to keep it fair, how to make sure that players who see this, they know that, okay, so there's some houses being built, but they don't really need to know how many wooden planks equates to how many homes. Because the target home is 3. And at first we thought 1 million per house, but no, we can't even do that. It looks like it's going to be 3 to 4 million per house. Yeah. Prizes, all on the website. And, oh, wait. Yep. Terms and conditions, everything will be mostly on the website. So that's pretty much what we've been doing so far. And this was a collaboration with Epic Homes, which is, I don't know, it's a charity organization that builds homes. So they get to promote their property while building a house, helping a charity, while getting the general public to contribute and help. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that kind of clears up a bit about what the other kind of gamifications available, possible. Because a lot of the companies I meet that do gamification, they don't go full-on game. They don't really make things exciting. So that's it. Thank you. You guys have any questions? Anything you want to know at all about other stuff? About how to, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are looking for actually. So, is there anything else you want to know more about? Or which part of the design or which part of, how to start developing it? Yes? How do you keep people playing your game? You can distribute prizes. Like, okay, so the property developer project, every Sunday they will do a live video where they select one winner from a list of qualified winners. And we limit how much wooden planks they can collect per day. So people were religiously doing it every single day. So you get 2,000. The current cap is 2,000. And when we had a small problem before where the counter did not reset for the next day. So we actually had a lot of players telling us that their counter did not reset. They're missing out on today's 2,000. So can you help out? So we looked at it and then we had to like manually reset the ones that are where the bug happened in. But yeah, we're pretty surprised at how much they're playing it. Yeah. And another thing is adding a shop where they can buy things. Now this has nothing to do with the clients. The clients don't need to spend anymore. It's not a prize. It's just an in-game reward. And for the banking one, people were playing it for about 2 months after the campaign ended. And that was a surprise. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It would really help if they have their own customer base. So for the bank, they have their own the online banking app. So they put a link in that app. When you tap the link, it'll take you to the download page. And let's see what else. Well, they need to spend on marketing. We can advise on that, but we're not a marketing company. Yeah. Is there anything else? Yes. How do I? Sorry. Okay, so that one can be easily balanced out. You play the game once and play at your best, and if you play it two, three times, you get an average of how much coins you can make. And then when you put items in the store, you put it so that, like, imagine you would want them to play at least 75 times before they can afford everything. Then from that, you just distribute the item pricing for each thing to about 75 gameplay. Yes, yes, oh, yes. For location, that would depend on the client. If they say they want Malaysia only, then we have to limit to Malaysia only. Age-wise, age is a very interesting thing. So we try to make games that are easy, but because, let's say for a bank, right, they have clients that are much older, and they get to win real prizes like vouchers and everything. So what also happens is parents would launch the game, give it to their kid, and say like, "Hey, win me some vouchers," and the kids be like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And we saw that happen once in a while. So making a game that's suitable for all age would really help them in even interacting with each other. And there's also like if you make it a bit challenging, right? But if they cheat and they get another person to help them, let them, because they will feel smart, like, oh, I hacked the game, or now I can do really well. But what they're also doing is they are spreading that game to another person. That's another person that will see like, oh, that's cool, and then they download it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think when it comes to winning cash or real prizes, keeping it local is much easier. Sorry, yeah. Um, I can only answer for our company. So game development starts from about 40 plus a month. I mean, but we have a list of mini games that we've done before. So if our clients want to choose one of those, then it would be a lot cheaper. But if they want us to develop something completely new, then it's a different pricing. And the pricing is a one-off, and we would help you with the campaign and all that. I mean, there are after sales and making sure, basically, we're protecting the brand throughout the entire campaign. Anything comes up, if it's going to affect the brand, we'll fix it. Oh, 1 to 3 months, depending on the scope. Yeah, but so far, nothing's exceeded 3 months. Nope. Yeah. Cool. No one else? Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
So for all the games that you've developed for your clients for engagement,
Mhm.
it's a one-time fee where let's say if it's a 6 months campaign, throughout the 6 months, you will manage the whatever back end that needs to be managed, any bug fixes or so forth, is it?
Yeah, but that also always depends on the contract.
So it's not
If it,
one-time fee,
yeah, it's a one-time fee for development,
okay?
and let's see. And depends on how. I guess we've never had a 6-month campaign before.
So
Yeah.
typically it's 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months max so far.
So at the end of the campaign, the game will still be at the store, in the store.
Yes, the game will belong to the client. We're not uploading it through our account.
Yeah, but you don't manage it anymore. If there's anything wrong, you don't manage it after that anymore.
No, no.
Okay.
But we have some clients where they ask us to develop something specific, like a back-end system, and when they approach us again, and they want the same thing, we don't charge them for that thing that we developed for them before.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
So in terms of like customer support, you don't do any of that at all? That's on the client to provide?
Sorry, what do you mean by customer
For
support?
customer support, like if there's bugs with your game, players are complaining, leaving bad reviews, that kind of thing.
Oh, we do that. We cover that.
Oh, so you cover that. Only
Yeah.
for the 1 to 3 months or like just constantly?
For the duration of the campaign.
Oh, just for the duration campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
And normally by 3 months, or at least by the first month, a lot of the companies would have been sorted out. I mean, if they find something new after 4 months, that's pretty good for them. Anyone else? Or anybody who wants to start going to gamification? Okay, right. Well, I'll be around for the whole day, and if you have any other questions later, just come find me. I'm around on this floor. Okay, thank you.